Hey now.
All week long.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thurston County Protective Order Court. This one just starting now.
10 a.m.
What's the date today?
Today's January 30th.
All right, so we're not these two.
There's a guy trying to tell him in the courtroom that he's supposed to be there today.
All right.
Yeah.
And they're just arguing back and forth that he's not
he's
supposed
just
to be
talking
there.
to some dude that was there for some assault, and he's like, "I think you're in the right courtroom, but I'll check for you."
So you're free to leave. So we have Ms. Jackson here and Ms. Stewart.
Sturt.
And so
How long did y'all date?
give me just a minute here. I got to get back to my calendar.
Take your time. Welcome. This is We Got a Case, and we're jumping right into hopefully a fairly decent one today.
Take a second and like the video. Protective order is usually affairs of the heart gone wrong, Creed, or just some harassment.
It's our fave, no matter what.
So this was filed back on December 27th. No temporary order was entered, so no order was in place now. And I've reviewed the file. There's a number of videos on there, some videos, I think.
We like that.
Again, I'm meeting you all for the first time, seeing you in the second time, a video of what appears to be Ms. Stewart coming to Ms. Jackson's door. I think law enforcement was involved at some point.
Ooh.
There's law enforcement came. You might not have been there, Ms. Stewart, but law enforcement came. And I saw some written documentation. And so we'll go ahead and proceed with the hearing. And Ms. Jackson, I'll hear from you first, but I guess, you saw we just had a hearing. We'll proceed in the same manner with the same admonition as don't interrupt the other. Again, this is a highly emotional case, clearly, based on the documents that I have read.
I'm
as a lot of
emotional
these cases
already.
are.
I like it.
But don't talk over the other person. I'll give you a chance to respond. I can tell already, both of you are going to hear things you don't like and disagree with, but direct all comments to me. So Ms. Jackson, starting with you, you're the petitioner. Could you raise your right hand, please?
Hopefully the judge won't have to say the
You
P
swear to
word
affirm the
today.
information and testimony you provided by
Right.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down.
Other than lashes.
I'm going to let you, I do have one specific question though, and since this has been filed, no order's been in place. There been any issues?
Yeah, she has still contacted my husband. My husband is in the military and currently he's unable to make the call because he's out on another trip.
I didn't
He's
see
a
that
what?
coming.
My
No.
husband's in the military, so he's out on another mission.
A mission.
All right.
From God. Hello,
So he's
Rose.
not. Okay, I guess he is on the petition. Okay, so go ahead. Why, how is it you need an order from Ms. Stewart?
She has constantly harassed my
Yeah.
husband, left frequent voicemails. She's been parked across the street. She came to my house on December 24th around 9:30, tried
Mhm.
pushing her way into our home.
Or wait.
Ooh.
She
The
came,
video?
it's on video surveillance. She tried pushing herself into the house, wanting explanation from my husband. They were just friends, and it's just, there's just no need for her to even come to our residence. I never invited her to our home. It's the first time I ever met this woman. My husband said that he was just friends with her for all these years, and
Oh.
it's
some
just,
dirt.
she has left repeated voicemails where she's like, I'm
Amber.
sitting at your house. She's left emails. I'm sitting at your house. You're going to give me an explanation as to why you married this woman and you didn't tell me.
Wish
When
Timmy was here.
there's just no need for this, whether they're friends. And it's just been nonstop with this craziness.
On a
She's
mission.
called from repeated different
Yeah,
numbers.
hang on. Stop me first. I'm gonna stop you for a second.
Do we have any proof?
When does your husband get back so he can be here? Because it sounds like you're speaking on behalf of him, and
Mm-hmm.
it'd be my
Well,
preference. I'd kind of like to hear all this from him.
He's even hit me up on Facebook, which I even blocked.
Can
They
you
didn't
answer
ask
my
you that.
question, please?
Answer the question, please.
He'll be back in about a week.
All right.
That's really weird. I thought the two of them may have had something go, but
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's where I went.
What I'm inclined to do, ma'am, is just reset this for 2 weeks so he can be here.
Eh.
Because everybody,
Oh.
you're saying like my husband this, my husband that,
Well,
and he is a
true.
petitioner. But I'd kind of like to, and it probably won't be me in 2 weeks, but I think the court needs to hear from him.
her husband a little long in the tooth to be a military.
And I
sergeant?
know Ms. Stewart,
I would think so.
I will tell
Matt!
you, Ms. Stewart, a practice.
Amber,
lawyer,
look at
you
both
shouldn't
of
be
them.
so
Thank you, my
demonstrative in
God.
court like this. I'll give you a chance
That's
to
all-
talk.
All orange
Your
Monday.
behavior and your demeanor is not helpful to you. You're going to be able positioned to, I kind of like it when people treat each other with respect. Kind of your demeanor and body language isn't all that respectful. And so
Ooh.
you'll have an opportunity to tell your side of the story, but
Oh, he's already coming after Angela.
just a little bit of advice, you might want to conduct yourself a little bit more appropriately.
Yes, sir.
So,
I
Ms.
apologize.
Jackson, what's your position on, again, spoiler alert, I'm probably going to do it anyway, but if there's any sort of major inconvenience for all of you to be back here in 2 weeks, when your husband's back here, because with all the reference to my husband this, my husband that, she's doing this, and I think he needs to be here.
He said he's the petitioner as well.
Ms.
Yeah,
Jackson, what's your
co-petitioner. Yeah.
take on that?
I guess I work, but she's repeatedly even harassed me on my own social media, which is not fair.
How dare she?
I mean,
Okay, how has she done that? And maybe you could provide some documentation of that between now and your next, like, screenshots. Earlier, it's not uncommon to do screenshots and get that in front of the
Yeah.
court.
she didn't submit all the current. She didn't submit all the stuff. She only submitted what she wanted to submit.
I know, you can submit whatever you like, is my point.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right.
It says the
So
makings of.
we're gonna redo a notice of hearing.
It really
and it'll Be
does.
for 2 weeks from today, which is February 13th. And like I said, my guess is.
Well, right
I'm-
before
that
Valentine's
I'm not on
Day.
this regular rotation. It's gonna be someone else. It's not gonna be me. So everything's gonna go back to ground zero there.
Okay.
Sir, do I have a chance to say something?
No.
Yes,
Well, I can tell you the things that she's saying now are not the truth. I haven't
Okay,
had
well, like I say,
contact.
that's.
2 weeks,
That's
Larry.
for today. You need to save that for, I get, ma'am, and believe me, I fully anticipated that. Is, when you read these, both from both sides, they can't possibly, some of the things, they can't possibly both be true. And it either did or it didn't, and then a judge, whoever's
We
gonna
got
sit,
video?
have
Oh.
to make that decision.
My
And
goodness.
like I say, some of these things involve, and that's why
I wanna
I
see
think
her
it's so
using her
important,
weight to
Ms.
get in the
Jackson, for your
door.
husband to be here.
She
Because some of these
leaned on it.
things that's being alleged by Ms. Stewart are directly related to him. And so I think he should be here and answer for that.
He wasn't here at the last one either. He
Well, hang
didn't
on just a
show up.
second. I'm not talking about the last one. I'm talking about
The
when this thing
the
actually
last
goes
one.
to hearing. And
Yes,
in
sir.
terms of, I've asked Ms. Jackson as to when he can be here. I'm told he can be here in 2 weeks from now. And so might want to let him know that at least I think it's critically important for him to be here.
I can't
Yes, he is a
believe-
petitioner. And so copies of the new hearing will get sent to you. We're not going to need to do any service. But I will say, Ms. Jackson,
Mr.
if
Jackson's
you
got a
feel
lot of
like there's
explaining to
information
do.
that can be
Yeah, I
provided,
can't wait to see him.
you can file that.
Whoa. I might need to go
Here's your.
check that out.
All right, that's it for today.
All right, thank you.
I'll look and see. if
I-
can find
I
it.
don't know. That one's going to be good in 2 weeks. Somebody mark that on the calendar, would you?
Notice of hearing.
That will be on Valentine's Eve.
And Dallas, my favorite thing is now that he has been screwed by Facebook in the same manner that we were, and they just cut it. He's not even going to go live hardly anymore, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he had the same BS. Too many people apparently, because so Facebook doesn't have enough common sense to know that Reed Timmer is actually Reed Timmer, and there's 9 million other people that rebroadcast his stuff. It's a long one, but it's pretty interesting. But yeah, nice man. Oh, over to Sally Port, I see.
5-7, State of Kansas versus Michael James Canfield. Please announce appearances.
We'll see Mr. Jackson over
Here,
here.
here
for
on
something
behalf
else.
of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Michael Canfield, who does appear via Zoom audio visual. Judge, this is a case where I need some additional time to talk with Mr. Canfield. I would want to, if the court does allow continuance, I would want to set up a specific date and time for Mr. Canfield and I to meet and discuss his case more fully.
Okay. What's Mr. Canfield think?
Very well. This case is continued to April 3rd at 8 a.m. and Mr. Canfield needs to be here at that time by Zoom with his attorney. And the criminal damage to property, criminal trespass. I trust the bond has a no contact order.
Your Honor, if I may, I have a note which does indicate that the bond was previously set at a professional surety amount of $10,000, as well as a special condition of no contact with the victim. Given the particular facts of this case, while I do acknowledge that a continuance does appear to be appropriate, given the allegations presented by counsel for the defendant, I would respectfully request that the no contact order be in the continuing order of the court.
Very well. This is.
I got it
these are
pulled up.
both
What does she look
designated
like?
Domestic violence. I am
I can
aware
back it
that
up a little bit.
Mr.
Oh, I'm over here
Canfield
looking
and the
too.
alleged victim do
Oh, I
have
got it pulled
Yeah.
up.
We're both
long
looking at the
time.
same thing.
Yeah.
off and
Sorry,
on type.
He's cute, by the way, the guy in the
situation with
bottom
these
corner.
types of charges. I don't know anything about these and it's not appropriate that I do know much at this time, but due to the nature of them, I will continue the no contact order, Mr. Canfield. That's what we typically do. That's what I'll
And
do.
Judge, if I could
Is that
set
lady
Mr.
just, like,
Canfield
picking her
for
teeth
office
or
appointment to
something?
come to my office this
Like,
Thursday
smelling her fingers?
on February 2nd at 9:30 a.m.
So, Mr. Canfield,
Darla
I'm gonna
is
make
very
that a
casual
condition of
out
bond
today.
too, that you keep that appointment February 2nd, 9 a.m. at Mr. Patterson's office
Chong.
across from the courthouse there in El Dorado.
9:30, Judge.
Oh, 9:30. Court's at 8. Any questions about any of that, Mr. Canfield? If you'd want to unmute. You're still muted.
Mr. Canfield, go ahead.
There should be a little red icon. There you go. You got it.
Am I unmuted?
You're
Can you hear
unmuted.
me?
Yes.
Okay,
I can hear you.
Thursday, February the 2nd at 9:30 a.m. with Mr. Patterson,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he
And then
calling
April
over
3rd, 8 a.m. at the
landline?
courthouse or by Zoom again.
Sounds that way.
And let's see,
April 3rd at what time?
April 3rd at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And it looks like you do have a B misdemeanor in these charges. And Kansas law requires picture and footprints and all A and B misdemeanors are above. So have you gotten that done yet? Did they, yeah, you posted a bond, so you're good.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're
And
good.
I was kind of
Well, have you figured that one out over there yet, Creed, or where we at with that?
No, but it looks like man. I wish that I would love to back it up to the beginning because it looks fantastic. But again, they when they cut it, it's gone. So I would feel bad, and then Walter would come in and yell at me if that were the case.
Is there any way we can just get a taste and see what's going on? Get us an
Well,
idea what's happening.
I was waiting to see if she'd give us a little bit of. That's why I always say, guys, if you ever come across a banger, try to give us just a little bit of detail as to like what we're looking for. This guy's legit flossing right now, live in court. There's been a lot happening. over here. But if you want to watch him floss, we could do that.
Absolutely, because
Mr.
my
Murphy,
God.
they're gonna
Yeah.
fax this directly to Friendship, so it'd probably be a good idea later on today.
At first I thought
to
you meant
call the
flossing.
Friendship, make sure they received it, and
Nope.
that suffices. If there's any problems, let me know. But that should take care of it.
It is National Flossing Day.
But do not just go over to your neighbors until you confirm with Friendship that you got.
Hang
Don't
on,
get
mate.
sideways with Friendship, because then they gotta come back and tell us you're in violation. So wait till we
I
get
know.
that thing. Yeah.
They close at 3:00.
Oh, they do.
If they close at 9. All right, thank
So
you.
once court's done, that will get faxed, but give them a couple hours, check with them. I'm assuming they're in their office daily, but during COVID, they had kind of strange hours.
They're still remote. They're only in the office on Tuesdays.
Okay,
Very
well,
good.
good job. Thanks for bringing that to your attorney's attention. We wouldn't have known. I would have just gotten the violation report, but anyway, thanks for taking care of that.
What did she look like? I can back up to it. It's just they had a lot of
Thank you.
characters in here
All
in the
right,
last
so that
45
gets us-
minutes.
Thank you. That gets us to Cody Runyon.
I know that's got to be him, Cody.
Cody
You're going, sir.
Runyon.
I know
Oh,
it.
there he is.
Mr. Grotto?
He's been sitting there all dang day.
Yeah.
What time did you get here, Cody? 7 o'clock?
Pretty early. Pretty early.
Your Honor, frankly, it says pretrial. I'm kind of lost. I thought we were resetting dates, but I have a brand new file with nothing in it, so I'm kind of.
I understand
We
that.
did that, we did that to
Procedurally where
test
we're
you.
at.
We did that to test you. Okay, this thing got filed in 2019.
3 cases or
Oh, boy, Judge,
so back.
DPA Murphy was appearing before Judge Doherty in June.
Go back to the
2019.
last
Warrant was served.
Werman, maybe.
Probably the only
last
Warman they
month.
had.
Yeah, from what I can tell, Mr. Myers was originally.
He's
on
still
the
getting
case.
stuff out of
Oh,
them
that's
teeth.
right. So
I don't know what
Myers
this
was
guy
removed
ate.
on January 9th.
Tuna.
So I think we're on to reset dates.
6 ears of corn later.
Now, was Mr. Myers conflict counsel or was he private counsel?
So Mr. Runyon, did you pay Mr. Myers, or was he just appointed to you?
We paid him.
Okay. The reason why I ask is sometimes he used to be conflict counsel, and I wanted to make sure there wasn't a potential issue with our office, but if you privately retained him.
If
that's
he's been
fine.
there that long, we probably missed a meeting breakfast.
So Mr. Running, what we're gonna do
That's a
is
good point.
set some dates. I need a chance
He
to
probably
review
did
things
put there
with
to eat
you.
all of his breakfast.
Eat all of his
Usually,
breakfast.
especially out here, we don't set trial dates immediately until we at least have a chance to discuss. So we waive speedy trial, and
Maybe.
then at some point, if we determine that there's a need for a trial date, then the 90-day clock would start running. So what I would suggest is a status review date, maybe March 6th. And I have a very thin file. I'm assuming there's more discovery coming my way because I just have probable cause information in the court filings. So Ms. Lasses, if there's anything the state has, if that could be resent to my office, I'd appreciate it.
Nancy,
And
it's your
then we can
birthday?
come back here on March 6th for status.
Happy birthday, Nancy.
I've made a note in the file to have discovery copied and sent to you.
Okay, thank you. And then also, Mr. Runyon, just to confirm your address, I got a place on 10th Street, 419 East 10th. Is that still accurate?
Packed house.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then a phone number, I got a last 4 of 7174. Is that still accurate?
Correct.
Okay, make sure you got your voicemail set up. And what I need you to do is call my office.
And congratulations
schedule an
on such
appointment,
great
probably a
dental
few weeks
hygiene.
out. Whatever the conditions of release were are still in effect, so make sure you're abiding by that, because quickest way to find yourself back in custody is violating those terms.
You want to chance it
Probably
and jump back a little bit?
mid-February.
Yeah, we'll jump to
Maybe
mine for a second.
review,
Go ahead and
we'll
jump
go
back,
from
and then once you get it
March
set,
6th,
we'll
we
come
can-
back to it.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Crystal, if we could make sure that tape assessment, updated tape assessment gets done, taking into consideration the 2 new cases. And that
Does it-
can be sent to Joe Taylor and Monica. And Monica, if you could take a look at that to make a determination whether or not additional substance abuse treatment program for the 4 sentencing cases would be sufficient to handle the new additional cases. Okay?
Yes, Judge. I've opened up discovery, so the defense counsel should be
Is
able
that
to see
guy
that
part
now.
turtle?
All right, Ms. Pena, just so you know, the likelihood is based on the 2 new cases,
and the previous 4 cases, is that there's probably going to be some type of substance abuse treatment component in the
That's what I thought.
updated tape assessment. I don't know what that is going to be, but it very likely could be an inpatient component. So you need to prepare yourself for that you may be required to do some inpatient drug treatment.
Judge
as a
Eldridge
condition of your
doesn't want to be
probation.
recognized.
All right, do
Apparently.
you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Joe, how much time do you need to digest all of this?
Joe.
2 weeks.
What?
How much?
2 weeks.
All right. How about
You okay?
215? Is 216 a viable date, John?
Let's see.
Oh, congratulations.
215 is, and
I pray me and Creed
216
don't have to be
hold on, let me look
streaming
at-
at this age.
216 is a viable
This
date.
guy Joe.
Let's put this for 216 because I think 215 is pretty packed. So we'll come back to an in-person on February 16th. Miss Pena will be transported on that day for
what a show
sentencing
that'll
and
be, though,
hopefully
huh?
a global resolution of all of these cases. Okay.
It's like
All
watching
right, very
Dateline,
good.
when they have those interviews with people that
Next, we have Ladarius Williams.
Hey,
Mr. Lindarius.
I'd love to see Lindarius.
Right now,
but,
Albert Machado.
1 or 2 other
we
cases.
backed it up to where he was eating breakfast.
I'm not sure.
Do we see
I
any
knew
other
it.
lawyers up there? No.
I think so. We have Johnny Jackson.
We got Johnny Jackson. We got Ms. O'Brien.
We got Johnny Jackson. We got
What's Johnny
Travis
Jackson doing?
Crucial Field.
Johnny, come on up.
Johnny Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, next on the Cutting.
I can't believe Johnny Jackson's here. He's doing shout outs. I can't believe this.
If memory serves, I want to say there was 60 days of Scram that was implemented.
Mr. Johnson's
doing well. Mr. Johnson is doing well. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Thank you,
Yeah,
mysterious
there's a
voice.
report that was filed January 3rd from, looks like Friendship, saying he completed his 60 days. So
Sure.
I will defer to Miss O'Brien. But I believe there was previous admissions. There was 60 days of EHM implemented. And then we set it over, I think today was for review disposition, to make sure that he completed the EHM.
Oh,
or
good luck
excuse
with
me,
all
the
that.
SCRAM.
For real.
So I believe we're at a disposition phase regarding the original probation issue.
Guessing this guy's a
Ms.
frequent
O'Brien, did you
flyer.
want to get this case
Hey,
resolved today?
He's a
What do you wanna
frequent
do?
gummer as well, it looks like.
Yes, he is.
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Johnson kind of struggled with compliance with treatment earlier this month.
That's code word for it
He
didn't
has
go.
recently turned that around at about the middle of the month. So I would prefer not to go to disposition and set this out for a review in a month to see if he
We can-
continues his progress.
We can do that. So in other words, I guess we've already admitted to the violations, Mr. Jackson. So, if things were really going bad today, I could put you in jail, but your probation officer says you're doing well. So we could come back for a review in a month. Can you live with that?
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well, he's
that
that,
would put
bud.
us to
He's going to town
February
with his 2 teeth.
27th.
Really
Is that written down? You got it?
Yeah, I'll write it down.
Here.
Oh, look, they got the chain on it like it's at the
February
bank.
27th, Ms. O'Brien. I
Yes,
don't know if you
you see
heard
the
that
crowd
or
that
not,
comes
but-
through here.
Thank
FYI,
you, Your Honor.
I want you guys
So
to
keep
know
doing what
that
you're
we're
doing.
live. They do not
Whatever it is you're doing, it's right.
And
save their videos. So if
Just as
if
important
they
to
cut
stay in
it,
touch
we're
with Miss
done.
O'Brien.
Just so you know, we're taking
All
a
right, Johnny.
We're rolling the dice, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's do
Aisha's
it.
here. Aisha.
Dr. Buzzco. I like
Come on
the
up.
first one. Halfie.
She's
Halfie
here.
to you.
Aisha Johnson.
think she's here to watch more.
Oh, she got the beanie that
Oh,
matches
we
her
missed her
coat.
the other day. I thought we.
No hats in court, please.
Your Honor,
Yes.
this is Ms. O'Brien. I want to let the court know that Ms. Johnson has tested positive for alcohol, and my recommendation is that she goes into custody.
This is her. We found
Like
her.
right now, she's drunk.
Okay, Miss Johnson, what I'm looking at is a lab test result. Did you see this, Mr. Kressel?
I did get just about 5 minutes ago, but.
January 27th, Ms. Johnson, it said that you tested, did you know you tested positive for alcohol?
Like for alcohol.
Oh, shit, she knew.
Because that stays in your system for a few days. And this was taken.
Just got back from a ski
I
trip.
also forgot
Yes.
to mention, Your Honor, that Ms. Johnson did not report to me this month as she's required to do.
Okay.
So they test her when she comes in.
Well, what I'm thinking about, Ms. Lasses is, let's take a look here.
I mean, it happens. You forgot you
So
had
she's
something to
here to
drink.
quash a warrant, correct? Because the warrant went out last week.
Yeah, she missed court. She's not talking to Ms. O'Brien, or she missed an appointment anyway, at least one.
She must be a big
And she
old
tested
drunk if they're
positive
testing her for alcohol.
which is out of the three things, the biggest sin, because we're trying to keep her going on a DUI probation, and we need her to not be drinking. So
DUI probation. She comes into
what
court
I'm
Monday
thinking,
morning
Ms.
drunk.
Lasses is $1,000 cash bond. She's got to go into custody now. If she can post it, she can be released, but we'd bring her back here on February 6th.
Well, I would suggest, because I think the probation calendar is the 13th.
Is it 13th? What do you think, Melissa?
And I don't believe, since this is a new violation, the name's familiar, and I
Right.
know I represent her in the past.
Oh.
I would suggest that my office be appointed. And we.
It's
deal
like,
with
damn
this
it, she's
on the
gone.
13th.
Okay.
Wrong
Now
camera.
look, see if you guys withdrew. Well, in any case, we're going to reappoint clown public defenders. So, Ms. Johnson, I'm imposing $1,000 cash bail on you right now. You're going into custody till you post that. And our next court date is going to be January. We reappointed clown public
T.
defenders. Your next court date's going to be February 13th at 9:30. So you got to go into custody.
Is that an admit deny, Your Honor?
Well, yeah,
Looks
on
like
the
she could
13th,
give
it's
two
gonna be
shits.
admit, deny. We're not prepared to do that
This is
today.
like-
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking. It doesn't make any sense unless you're a lawyer and you think that way.
This happens to.
No, Miss O'Brien's the one on the phone sounding out there.
Yeah. so weird.
$1,000. Well, what did I set it at
$1,000 doesn't seem like stiff enough, does it?
Not at all.
So yeah, we're not.
What I don't know is if she's gonna stay local or if she's gonna get transferred to the county.
That's a good question. I don't know that either.
Sometimes they keep people here, other times they transfer them. I don't know.
How do we let
She's sassy.
Rowley or somebody know we need a?
Why is
There is a chief of police. So
Oh.
Ms.
She's coming in
Johnson
to lock
has
her
to
up.
post $1,000 cash. to get
Making
out
a
of
personal
jail.
appearance.
13th, but chief's gonna take you into custody.
There's the chief of police.
Probation issue on the
Doctor, what are you
13th.
doing here?
When I get the rest of the file, I'll call you if you're local. If they transfer you to the county, that you have phone access there, you can call my office. But yeah, chief's gonna.
They might
take you.
transfer. They only have one cell there.
So I can leave now.
Well,
No,
chief,
you can't. You're
Right.
getting arrested. Do you not
You gotta go
understand
into
this?
custody till you get that bail posted.
She has no idea what's
We'll
happening.
see you on the 13th, and you can't be drinking. If you do post bail, there's no drinking.
So I can just go now?
Yeah, chief.
Thank you. My email will absolutely be ecstatic.
We try to comply with the new rules.
Seriously, this is gonna make them so happy.
She had no idea. She listened to
Thanks,
none of it.
Melissa. You
Yeah,
made me
she
feel-
on another planet. I feel like she had that beanie down and she had like little
All
earbuds
right.
in. She was
Where did
listening to
we
music
leave
all the
off? We
time.
got people in the courtroom, and we got a person. that's been sitting up
We
there
can just
forever.
go down through the list. Who's here.
I guess we better go down through the list.
But
What
as soon as
about
she
a Jimmy
gets
Bishop?
locked up, she'll figure it out.
The most casual
It says
court.
review, so I don't
So
recall
casual.
what the review is. I can see a file that I had, so.
One of the biggest letdown of the
Yeah.
school
I
amendment.
think we're looking for community service work, 40 hours. Or
Yeah.
is-
Oh.
That sounds familiar. Did you turn something into the court?
I did not. I started working and I need to go get the paperwork.
You started working one.
I need to go get paperwork for the community service.
No.
What changes?
I was here at the food bank.
Food bank?
Yeah.
Okay. How many hours?
I only got like 8.
Jay,
Oh,
he's eating
yeah,
again.
there you
Sorry.
go,
Oh, he's
baby.
eating again. Jay, I
sounds
think
like
that
you
too.
started it,
How the
but
prosecutor
completed, so
or
that-
is he the?
Yeah, so
I'm
Ms.
not sure who he
Lasses,
is, but he stands
looks
right there
like the
next to the
sentence
judge.
was
I
entered
love that.
December
Very night
5th,
court-ish.
2022.
By the way,
and
someone
Mr.
asked about what the
Bishop has
tattoo was
started
on
the
his face. It
process.
says
I wanna give
legit
him
right
another
over his
Is that what it
eyebrow.
said?
Get the
Legit.
40 hours done.
Says
And so I'm
legit.
thinking February 27th. So Jimmy, the problem we're gonna have, you come back here on the 27th at 9:30, you don't have the hours done, and I gotta put you in jail.
Uh-oh,
That'll
Jimmy.
make both of us miserable.
I'll have it.
One more so than the other. So Mr. Bishop, I cannot stress enough, complete your hours, and just as important.
Oh, look at the stain
or
on his
more
nice white
importantly, pay
hoodie.
for it,
Ugh,
bring it to
it's
the
his
court.
best
We don't
hoodie too,
have
and
to
he's
wait
eating
all
in
the
it.
way
Maybe you
till
should take that
February
shirt off,
27th.
bud.
It's his court hoodie.
But you need someone at the food bank who's someone of authority, sign off on it. So that way, if there's
Oh, he's
any
working at the
questions,
food
they can
bank?
verify
That's
it
a
somehow.
cush job, bud.
And then you're gonna be out here on February 27th. Otherwise, I'm assuming the state's gonna
Welcome
be
in.
asking to convert that.
And
Oh, he's got a lady there in the house. Just walked by.
of course he does.
Well, maybe not easy, but quick.
He's got the best hair in the
Yeah,
county.
what throws us off is if you have just a little note from somebody.
There you
what your
go.
Attorney's trying to tell you is it helps to have
He just shows
letterhead
his
from
crotch,
somebody
though. That's for
official
sure, Maggie.
that we can call. We can call them and confirm it, you know.
He's wearing them
Sometimes
sweatpants,
people
just like the
bring in
ladies
notes
like.
and it doesn't
Mhm.
work
Yeah,
very
we can see
well.
that
Food bank
online.
is wrong.
Right.
So whoever's in charge there, they need to make sure they can verify which days you did the hours on, their name, their contact information.
Now this
like
stuff
the
down
other
his
stuff
cheek,
on
I have
the
no idea what that
letterhead.
says.
And don't wait till the 27th. Bring it in earlier, so if there's any questions, it can be verified. And
What was
usually they'll
that?
forward it to me.
Walking around each other.
He's getting his
But
steps
if you
in.
come in
Creed.
here with nothing on the 27th,
Is that
it's
whoop,
not gonna
whoop?
go well.
Okay.
All right, Bishop. We'll see you on February
Bishop.
27th.
Okay.
With your hours.
Damn
they
it,
said
Bishop.
Okay.
Yeah, watch out for those
This is
bishops.
Nicole Hampton. Is she online? She's always online.
Mama tried.
She's always there.
Very much
Case
so.
that We're working on a
Thank you.
resolution. I've sent emails to.
Thank you,
Mr.
thank you.
Murphy, but obviously I wasn't aware that he was out of the office, so, and she's out of the area, so I don't want her making the long track.
No.
Or we may be able to do this via Zoom, but we want to make sure we have the offer. pinned
Well,
down.
and Ms. Lasses, I think Ms. Hampton, you work, don't you, Ms. Hampton? You got a work schedule.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, she
And
works.
taking that work schedule into account, I think what we're, if we go out to February 27th, does that work with your work schedule?
Yes, sir. I will
'Cause-
definitely make sure I can get it off.
Because we're kind of getting bunched up on the 13th.
That's what she said.
20th is a federal holiday. But the 27th should be more than enough time because the prosecutor who's handling the case is out sick.
No way to
I
back
just
it
need
up,
to
Lisa.
confirm
So
what
now
we're
he's
doing,
eating.
then
He's
we need
watching
to
me eat all
chat,
of his
and then
breakfast.
we need to figure out. if
Clean
we're
your
coming out
teeth,
to
now eat.
courts Or if we're gonna do this via Zoom. But I would suggest the 27th for just
And we'll work with you, Ms. Hampton. You're
I think there's
always
a
here on
dollar
time, which
sign
we
at the
appreciate,
end of
so we'll-
legit.
We'll
By the
help
way,
as much as we
it's
can with all
very
that.
strange.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys' time.
We appreciate you.
Nicole is
May I
known as
ask
the
two
girl that has it
questions?
together.
Not to take up
Yes.
your time.
No.
Mr. Kressler, can we make sure to have my phone call on a Thursday or Friday?
She seems
Just
sweet,
so
but she
I'm
got that
covered because
crazy,
that's-
crazy look, like you guys said in the chat. Definitely.
Yeah, she could flip that switch on you.
Fridays
Oh,
are
Mary.
trickier because I'm usually in
Mary.
Superior Court all day.
Okay, I understand. And Mr. Judge,
Is he
may
drinking
I
out of a mason
ask about
jar?
the bail?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Going to town.
The
Wow,
bail.
he
How
went
much
to that
is
pink
bail?
lemonade, bro.
It's
I don't
crystal
know.
light.
I'll leave that up
I
to
had
the
to guess.
court.
He believes in Crystal Light because he
Hang on.
believes in him.
It looks like it
Donna?
might have been
I know.
$3,000,
Yeah. hmm
maybe.
Well, are you having trouble there, Hampton? Do you need a cash?
I just want to let my friend know.
She's
My
in court
friend
at the
filled me
moment.
out.
He's waiting. And all
Well,
those people are waiting.
normally we would release that.
I feel
on
like the guy in the back has a
27th.
great story.
I
If
think you
there's
might
some
be
kind
right.
of hardship, I'm willing to release it, but we don't normally do that before your disposition.
Like, I'll
Are
be
you
watching
having a
if
hardship
this cuts.
there?
No,
Oh,
sir.
absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll see you on the 27th. And like I
At
say,
9:30, I will be there.
All right, see ya.
They all love
You guys have
Nicole
a
in
great
court.
day and thank you.
Thank you.
pink lemonade, that cool,
Okay,
refreshing
there's
drink.
Aisha. Does that get us to Miles? Miles, Jeremy Miles sitting right here. Miles and Miles.
Judge knows everybody. Everybody.
I want to say he came in the afternoon instead of the morning.
Jeremy's here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So yeah, it was basically quashed the same day. And that was just last Monday. So
Yeah,
we
he
bumped-
showed up at 1:30 in
That's
his
right.
glasses. He got his times mixed up, but
And then we bumped it out over to this week, so we had the state prosecutor to reset. I think this is a case, and I don't think the warrant was actually issued. It was authorized but not issued.
right, he showed up, and so we didn't have to issue the warrant.
So this is a case we're working on getting resolved. He is one of those folks.
I'm gonna
kind
say
of,
he's fine. That'd be my
And Miss
guess.
Lassus, we had the treatment center out here, Cedar Grove, shut down, and it's kind of put a lot of my folks into a precarious situation. And didn't you have an appointment with West End? Oh, you do have an
I have paperwork and know that I was there.
Mark, this is just scratching the
Before they
surface.
shut down.
Right. He just got started, and they told him we're shutting down. Did you give him any money?
Yeah, well, I paid for the evaluation.
Right.
And then I couldn't make the class they wanted because I had just paid for the evaluation, and it was like immediately that weekend.
Right.
Another 100.
So Miss Lassus, this is a case we're working on inching towards a resolution. I have an evaluation indicating that an assessment was completed. There was a recommendation for an ADIS class.
Possibly.
And now the trick is completing the class. It's
Which-
not gonna be through, they may do it in Port Angeles.
Yeah, she told me the first weekend.
That's his
in
fancy Carhartt court
Okay.
shirt.
Oh,
Because if you get the class completed, then that puts you in a good position. I can chat with the prosecutor.
you want to try the 27th again?
Why don't we go for, this is another case that's gonna be a disposition, and do you mind if I keep this?
Yeah, that's,
I'll keep it in my file if you need me to make copies, but let's go to the 27th for dispo. He just needs to get the ADIS class done.
Right. Yeah, you know what your attorney's saying. We need to get you through the alcohol drug information scroll, because when he talks to the prosecutors about your case, he wants to say what you've done.
okay.
And if you haven't
I
done
believe that.
something, the prosecutor's gonna wonder why you're not doing something.
Sounds
So
good.
February 27th, yep. All right, Miles, we'll see you then.
All right.
Keep me posted as soon as you get that class done, give it both to the court and to me, so that I can discuss with Mr. Murphy how to take care of the case.
I mean, part of it is. I mean,
All
it's not any better in person than it is.
I think he's gonna
I think
be
you'd still
online.
eat
This thing
pancakes
noted,
either way.
Mine have originally been scheduled for today.
A like
Mr.
would be
Murphy
appreciated.
pled, actually, Mr. Murphy, are you out there? He's gonna call in.
Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, we got you.
He was gonna call in because he's in Clown Bay. So there was a change of plea done a few weeks back, if I recall. The court authorized EHM. The reason for the authorization was he's taking care of his neighbors.
Right.
He was an elderly couple.
He's taking care of
And
his
frankly,
neighbors.
I completely forgot for the court.
Salt of the earth.
although The court authorized EHM, what Friendship needs. And are you working through Friendship or is it another agency?
He's really digging in.
Friendship.
Okay, so Friendship needs something specifically from the court allowing him to check in on his neighbors. My understanding is he does this on a daily basis. It takes him
Does he get-
about.
does he get
anywhere from
paid for
half an
doing
hour,
that?
45 minutes, maybe up to an hour.
He's wearing
after he
sexy
gets off of work.
sweatpants, Steph.
Uh,
Sexy sweatpants.
But it's a pretty routine, normal schedule, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, I believe he goes over there about noon, same thing. It takes him about half an hour to an hour. But Friendship needs something specifically from the court. It was only 10 days at EHM, and frankly, he's going to be done here pretty soon, but.
I think we're
the
almost
whole
back to
point
where
of
we
EHM
started.
was so you can check on his
Melissa,
neighbors.
do you have a little minute order I can doctor up? Friendship. Can you believe that, Ms. Lassus? They actually want documentation. What's the world coming to?
I would
Friendship must be
suggest
some
just,
sort of program. I don't know.
Something indicate, do you, So, Mr. Murphy, I told you I would need your neighbor's name and their address, because I'm assuming you're on some type of GPS device. That way Friendship knows where you are.
Yes.
Do you have that address?
Friendship, maybe friendship's something to do with tracking
it a
him. I don't know. It's
I
very.
think I think you're right. I think it's
Sure, 10752, I believe.
I think it's
Oko
program.
Ozette Road in
Want
Columbus.
to jump to
Okay,
them
yeah,
live
those
now,
numbers.
or what do you want to do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I need
jump
those
over here. I
numbers.
had
Give me those
stopped
numbers
this because
again.
I saw them bring in the world's oldest convict.
All right, a court recalls D1 DC 21-500174, the state of Texas versus Salvador Sandoval, and you are the defendant, Salvador Sandoval. Is that correct,
Salvatore
sir?
Sandoval.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you've had an opportunity now to go back and sign the conditions of community supervision and sex offender additional conditions of community supervision. You've gone over those with your attorney, is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
All right, and so according to the conditions of your community supervision, you don't have to do any hours of community service restitution, but you do have to have an appointment with the integral care and follow all of their recommendations. You are going to be doing an
offender like that,
outpatient
you really
treatment
don't want them
program
doing
at
public
Living Recovery or
any
comparable
public
treatment
service.
program recommended by
No.
TAPE.
Stay away
You'll
from the
be
public.
assigned to the sex offender unit and follow all sex offender additional conditions of community
Okay,
supervision.
I got good news.
You will be
Good news.
required to
Creed.
have
Go ahead. Hit us with it.
The protection order court that we were just on,
Mm-hmm.
the video has ended and it is there.
Okay, so we can rewind and see some of the previous cases.
And we can go through. It's about, yeah.
In both cases? Mr. Marty?
I thought I did, but if I forgot the 23-00005,
So we jump back to the
I'll
beginning
file
of
it
the
this
one
week.
we were
I
watching.
apologize if
Hang
I
on just a
One that
minute.
went out
I'll
2
stop
weeks
it.
ago. We'll see
I'm just
what
curious about something.
Mr. Shannon Purdy.
What's that?
So we're back to protection order, the protection order calendar.
What's that say? Property of daddy? Is that what that says?
Where?
Her
Oh my
shirt?
God, does it? Yes, on her. Please say that.
Oh, please say daddy.
That's
Please say daddy. Oh, if it doesn't say, I'm gonna be so disappointed. He's looking at her like, I can be your daddy. You
Okay,
know,
I see that now.
Who's
Um,
your daddy?
Daddy's here. Don't you worry,
So
Robin.
basically
Daddy's
then,
here.
Yeah, I just saw Mr. Pardee. I didn't, Ms.
Hello, Daddy.
Ms. Pardee, Shannon Pardee is the only petitioner, and I just, well, that's, I guess that's what happens when you assume too much. I thought it was Mr. and Ms. Pardee. I just assumed they were all the named parties, but to clarify, the only party or the only petitioner in both of these cases appears to be Ms. Shannon Pardee. Mr. William Pardee will be, did submit a notice of appearance.
Never too
And
old.
That's right.
it appears now that both Mr. Pardee as well as Mr. Frawley, we agreed to resetting this, and we can, the default is 2 weeks, but if you need more time
I
than
can't
that,
think what
then,
else it would say.
by agreement, it can be set out longer than that. And I guess, Mr. Frawley, I'll hear from you first, and then I'll hear from Mr. Pardee.
I would like longer if that's agreeable. I haven't talked to Mr. Pardee to know if he agrees or not.
Mr. Pardee, we can do 4 weeks.
That's fine.
Looks like we're just setting this one out.
We'll
No matter
reissue
what it says,
temporary orders,
it's a
I'll
very
do orders, and
inappropriate
then,
court shirt.
I'm assuming then.
I mean,
the
especially
copy
for
of it'll get set, but we don't need
protective
to
order.
get anybody served. Both people in
Protect this
court,
body,
both of you
Daddy.
have noticed that the next court, and I can give Mr. Eden a copy of the order, reissuing the temporary order.
Maybe she's a submissive.
I'm gonna bump this to the next case because they're just
Maybe her and Mr. Party or like to party.
Is it Valiers? I apologize for that. And Mr. Stock is now here. And then Mr. Jackson, we're gonna have 2 hearings here this morning. Mr. Jackson's here, and then Ms. Stewart's here. And so just real quickly, we're gonna take up the Valiers Stock case first. And then I just want to, but for this, my comments I'm about to make are for everybody. Well, for one
Craig
thing,
looks mean.
I'm hoping you're pulled over there, Mr. Stock.
Yeah, I'm in the work parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
And
It's
so,
okay.
these hearings, just kind of the very
I'm not
nature of them,
driving.
or and particularly in both of these cases, because I've reviewed everything that's in the file, are pretty emotional experiences. Both of you are going to hear things you don't like. Both of you are going to hear things you disagree with. It's going to be my job to determine kind of what's actually going on out there.
Craig
Being
looks
at a
pretty
disadvantage for you
stone-faced, by
two,
the way.
because I'm meeting you for the first time, hearing about all this for the first time over the weekend and reviewing the files and getting ready for this case. And then I'm gonna have to try and figure out the best course of action from here. When the way they're gonna proceed, I'm gonna swear in the petitioner first, and then I'll hear from the petitioner. After that, I'll hear from the respondent. And then based on all of that, I'll make a decision one way or the other as to what's gonna happen with regard to the order being requested. All comments need to be directed to me. Don't interrupt the other party. Don't try and talk over the other party. I'll give you a chance to respond if you wish to have it, but again, I want all comments directed to me. And so again, as I said, we're going to start with the Valier Stock case, and then after that, we'll take up the Stewart Jackson case. And so Ms. Valier, am I saying your name correctly is my first question?
Bias, yeah.
Valles?
Good enough.
Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong. And I want you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear and affirm the testimony and information you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I swear.
Mikey in private.
You can put your hand
the
down.
Terminator sent
And
over.
so I have reviewed the file, but
if you want, we can do that right after this case.
there's been submissions on both sides. I want to hear from you on why you feel you need an order against Mr. Stock.
The main reason why I am requesting this order is because of the fact that Mr. Stock started driving by my house just to see if there was people at my house. And this is after the whole fact that we had ended things and I had requested him to leave me alone. That is the main reason why. And also because he started harassing a coworker of mine and sending inappropriate images and text messages to a coworker of mine.
Ooh.
I know that the order doesn't necessarily guarantee that that's going to stop, but I really just didn't appreciate the fact that he started driving by my house to see if there was somebody else there.
And you referenced, you had submitted a number of texts there.
Before.
You know, basically, as I read those texts, along and the shorter of it is, you're asking for him to stop that. What's been his response to that?
I mean, I'm not sure. Shortly after those messages, some of those texts were sent to my coworker. The ones that are redacted are the ones that he had sent to my coworker. I mean, ever since the protection order started, he did stop contacting me. It's just unfortunate that it basically took all this. I also
real quick, did Who's Handsome throw out some? Am I reading that right?
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll put him on the train.
Thank you, Who's Handsome.
also submitted some voicemails with transcripts in there as well. And he does state in the voicemails as well that he is aware that I'm requesting not to, not to have any contact with him, but he's continuously to call me. But like I said, after my order was granted, or the temporary, I shall say, he did stop contacting me.
Okay.
Well, it's a plus.
That's good.
So
and then he submitted.
They were together, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it seems like they had some sort of romantic interlude. But how did he sent it? How did he get her coworkers' phone numbers to start texting them lewd photos? Because it sounds like he was sending them like some,
So hey,
D-pics.
You got to give her credit. She did the right thing. She found out and said, "Okay, bye." But then he kept showing up. At least he listened to the temper.
It seems like none of the problems started though until she'd already told him to hit the bricks. They were done.
a number of things also. Expect I can hear from him that he's been texting, you've been texting him. There's a number in there. What's your position on that? Now, Mr. Stock, I'll swear you in just a second, then I'll hear from you.
So along with my my submission, I did also include the fact that those messages aren't me. He claims that it is me, but there are a number of names mentioned in those text messages, and the only point of reference he has of it being me is based off of a beauty mark that I don't have. I also have, I mean,
So there were some nude photos that were sent to him, and he's claiming they came from her.
But
And
she
said
has a beauty mark, or the pictures have a
the
beauty
picture
mark?
had a beauty mark that she doesn't have. I'm guessing is an identifying feature.
Are we maybe getting into where we thought, of course, eggplant pics, right?
Right.
Sent from Craig to the coworker. Now
Maybe it's these pictures he sent into the coworker. Say, see what she's sending me. This is what's going on. This is what she's doing. Any chance there could be a third party involved in this and catfish situation where they know they were dating and they're trying to cause some trouble for her, perhaps with these sexy nudes?
This might be good.
Your Honor, you don't know me, but I have tons of tattoos, and the images that he included, none of those images include any tattoo that I have. He's just, I honestly feel like he's falsifying it to have some sort of reason to either have some sort of communication or some way of making an excuse to have some sort of communication with me. I do believe they're falsified text messages. I don't know if he's corresponding with somebody or if he's doing it himself. None of those numbers are related to me. They're not related to any cellular device that I have or anything like that.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Stock, can you raise your, well, hang on just a second.
We probably should.
So in that, in
see the
his, there's a
pictures and let
picture
us decide between.
We should determine this.
Right?
on one of them. There's what appears to be him and then another woman. You're saying that that woman is not you?
Oh, he's seeing the
That woman is me, but I'm talking about, there's a picture, I want to say on page, I think it's like 38. It's a redacted photo, but he states that there's a beauty mark that is me. There are pictures that he did send to that
Do you have them
phone
printed out in
number
front of him right now?
of us, and those are me. But the way he tried to prove that it was me messaging him is by saying that I have a similar beauty mark to that one.
Okay,
And
so
that's even the background.
Yeah, this is a little bit complex here at the moment.
At first, we were to believe that there wasn't any photos of her, but now we're finding out there are photos because he's like, there's pictures of him with a woman.
Me
You're
too,
saying that's
JJ.
not you, and she says no. Some of those are me. So I'm guessing we're clarifying that some of them photos are them. I'm guessing being intimate, perhaps.
And look at him. He's got a stack of papers. I'm wondering if he like printed them out because he knew he was going to be. So he was.
And Judge has all the photos apparently, right there in front of him, and
that's why he won't stand up at the moment.
Ooh-wee.
Damn.
Let me
That
see.
picture with the Post-its on it is not you.
Yes, yes.
And
Is that one make her look worse or something?
Mr. And that was a
Oh
image.
yeah. So all right. So she's admitting to say
Yeah,
So it's like,
is the ones that she says are not her, like her with a fruit or vegetable of some sort in the photo? I mean, what is going on in the photos that she says those ones aren't me? These ones, these are me, but those ones that are really bad, very salacious. Oh no.
Boy.
So we're only gonna say the ones that aren't quite as bad are me, but the other ones are not. I don't know.
It was apparently sent to him, but you're saying you're not the person who sent that.
Yes, I'm not the person texting him from
Got
all those numbers that he's claiming.
Mr. Stock, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you
Somebody's
provide will
might
be
be
the truth, the
playing
whole
here.
truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. So I'll hear from you. What's your response to all of this?
So so we broke up on the 18th of September. The 19th of September, she came over, and at that same time, I got the text message from that 299 number. That was the day actually that night that we broke up. And it says, "Hey, are you okay?" Or it says, "Hey, you." From there, it went everywhere. And when I say everywhere, at first I thought it was her because we weren't talking, but we have gone through breakups to where we would break up and then get back together. And so when this person was messaging me, I was pretty much thinking that it was her, but at the same time, I didn't want to talk to anybody else. And on page 3, you can
your submission. You need to say page 3. There's a number of submissions. Are you talking about yours, the ones you submitted?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. There's
I bet it is.
Yeah, what's kind of hard?
In the files, it'll say page 3 at the bottom. In the court files, it's like I submitted 54 photos or 54 things, but I only submitted like 46 pages. So at so that night, on that day, September 19th, I said, Damaris Baez, I said, stop, as in like acting like someone else. And I got a response with, I love you. I said, I love you, Damaris. And then I got a response with, do you though? I was like, I love her a lot. She has my heart. And then I got another response saying,
who's handsome? Obviously, we might need a wellness check. He's
Look at this
out.
guy. I'll just throw him back on again. He's getting doubling the pleasure, double the fun. Creed, is there any chance somebody's is messing with these people, or someone has gotten a hold of some photos they're not supposed to, or is there a third party that we don't know about?
Why do I feel like she is such a sweetheart though that she would text him and say, "Hey, are you okay?" after a breakup? She
seems very genuine, very nice, sweet girl. She's got that look. I mean, when you got the little hair hanging down in the face, it gives you that appearance of she's a very innocent young girl covered up. She might be covered in tats.
All right. So, okay, Gary, good question here. In the beginning of this, did she not say that there were some pictures sent to a coworker?
Correct.
We initially thought
he was like sexting her, but
it might be him sending pictures to a coworker that might be actually wanting some interest in her. Maybe.
I'm thinking hopefully we'll find out in a second. Maybe he's justifying some of his stuff. Like, look, she's sending me this stuff, or maybe she even had her coworker message him. Because I got to figure out how this coworker, I'm guessing it's a female coworker. It could be a guy. We don't know. But maybe as a go-between, how sometimes you're like, you talk to her friend to try and talk for you, try and get back in when you're not talking to each other, maybe as a go-between. And then she sees the pictures and she freaks out like, these aren't pictures from me. These aren't text messages from me. There's a lot of uncertainty there. We're really just making things up as we're going along right now.
But for real golfing goes, I can see that. And she does seem really sweet from what we've seen so far. I mean, it's entirely possible. Is she smart enough to do it from another phone number, though? Or would she want to do it from, I don't know. This is an interesting case so far. I hope we get the answers we need.
You have my heart too. And then I was like, why would you message me from another number? and it says, because I want to see if you'd fall for this. So that, like, it, from there, it kind of like spiraled, from being one person, then to being my ex-girlfriend, which is Damaris, and then to being a Cynthia. And when we stopped talking on the 28th or the 27th, she sent me a photo of of a check that she found on the ground outside of her residence, I would say. And she says, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I found this on the ground, and it was a check, and the name on the check was Cynthia, and the name that person that was text messaging me said her name was Cynthia.
Okay. Oh my God. So many moving parts. So the person in question and texting him divulged they were Cynthia, we don't know who Cynthia is. And then ironically, she finds a check outside of her apartment or home, whatever, that's made out to a Cynthia or from a Cynthia. Again, third party. Is there a third party involved here that we don't know?
Well, here's another interesting thing, and Edward picked up on that because I just noticed how he just hesitated about the resident thing. She's definitely in an RV.
Ooh.
Edward, you're absolutely right. Just look at it. She's in like one of those little benches, a little bench seat.
Yeah,
like slide out. It's a slide out, basically. It looks like
it's a very nice one, though. I mean, look how nice it is.
I wonder if she's in Thurston County, living at the RV park. Interesting.
Now, all while was going on the 23rd of September, I went to Miss Via's house. I re-dropped off the stuff that she dropped off at my house on the 19th. And I said, I don't want it. You need it. From there, everything was going fine. I just finished fishing. So I couldn't stay long, but we had a chance to talk a little bit. We got in the car, we went to the store, we went back to her house, we had intercourse, and then I left. And then from there, it was pretty much like talking on the phone and talking through text message. But this number kept calling me and kept not calling me, but messaging me and messaging and messaging. And then,
so I'm sorry, he went when this fishing trip and then the intercourse. These are after they broke up and after he was already getting the Cynthia messages.
Yeah, because he's doing okay with like the dates. Because I think didn't he just say we're now at the 20 something?
Okay. I mean, he might have been done fishing, but he wasn't done with his pole. It's very interesting. He did say there was a lot of back and forth where they break up and back and forth and this. Yeah. But again, there has to be a third party, or one of them is insane.
Somebody's playing puppeteer.
So you'll see, unfortunately, like when this number is messaging me, obviously my emotions are getting into it because, it's saying that in my mind, I'm thinking it's her. And so that's the reason why I called her a lot, is because I'm like, why could she message me from this number? I'm like I said, now that number has stopped messaging me since this order has taken place, which is weird because it's messaged me for ever since up till December 20th or whatever, or 15th or 16th.
What about your okay, she referenced some communication with some co-workers there. And I think
I did,
some things included which are fairly inappropriate, to put it mildly.
It was
like
inappropriate. So that number that messaged me was telling me to come over to her house, and that Byron was over there, and that and that I can come over in an hour. And I was like, okay, well, obviously, me.
Which number is this? I'm sorry.
Who's Byron?
Yeah.
The
who's
number that had
Byron?
been sending him the stuff had told him to
Hello,
come
Cole.
over. To come over. And then we've mentioned Byron. Is Byron the coworker who got the inappropriate text messages from him?
And did I hear that right? That this person said that Byron is here, come over in an hour?
Yeah, like wait your turn.
He's still thinking, but not thinking that it's her. I'm like, okay, well, where do you live? And, what's your boyfriend's name? And the number from the 299 number messaged back saying, the answer to both those questions. So knowing where she lives, which is at a trailer park, I don't know if it's referenced in there, but I know it's been referenced. And so, yes, I did, I did go online. I did go on his Facebook. I did find out what kind of car he drove through his Facebook. And then from there, you can see the very first number where
it's a little
easy does it, Stalky. Again, though, I guess if he's confused, maybe a moment of confusion, we would all do something kind of maybe that. But he's
absolutely, and you have a right to look into certain things here and there, depending on how you play it.
I know he's dealing with the queen of the trailer park, but
number one.
Hello,
Agda. Pretty good day so far in court.
You might want to rewind this.
it says been verified, because I signed up for been verified to see what number, who was messaging me. But that's how I got his number. Unfortunately, it was childish. It was immature.
I think that he referred to this RV park as a trailer park.
So he said what's been verified? Is that like one of those reverse lookup numbers or something, or how to get somebody's phone number?
I don't know. Anybody?
He said that's how he got Byron's phone number, and he did message Byron.
Mama tried. Yeah, he's like right on that.
He's fallen from grace right now. He's slipping.
I bet you
fast.
That's what it is. Been verified would be one of those. You ever look up a number and it's all it's all.
Do you got to pay and you can read all the information?
Yep, I bet that's exactly what that is.
It was immature to call her all those times. I'm not saying that I did the right thing. So
say that again, please. You tailed off there at the end.
I did say it was immature to message him those things. It was immature to message him at all. I know that
especially if he's the new guy.
So,
your replacement.
Ma'am, I'll hear from you there. You look like I may be misreading your body language, but it appeared to me that you wished an opportunity to respond. And then I'll give Mr. Stock the final word and I'll give a decision.
Yes, Your Honor. So he states that he had seen the vehicle, which I do reference, I believe in exhibit. It's either C or D in my declaration that I submitted. He states that he knows the vehicle by reviewing something on Facebook. So that vehicle does not belong to Byron. That actually belongs to somebody else that had spent the night at my house. And
go on.
The only way that Mr. Stock would know what vehicle was at my house is if he came. So in my community, which
easy does it. This is a family show.
What's your wording there?
I'm guessing like if she does live in a trailer park, and I don't know how familiar people are with trailer parks. Some of them are like straight back. You just drive straight down till you get to the dumpster and you turn around and come back. And some of them are like a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not like he's going to be just driving down Highway 17 and like, oh, somebody at her house. Like it's a house.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong to drive by an X and just kind of get an idea if
yes,
it is
100%. You shouldn't be driving by X's houses and then being nosy.
Many wrong things in my lifetime.
It is. Stay away.
I'll give a Google Map image of where I live. So I'm not the only car that's
Okay.
visible from the street is my car, which is it's
Oh.
parked in front of where my house is, but where that car where the person that spent the night, that car was parked behind my trailer. In order for Mr. Stock to see that vehicle, which he references twice in the text messages, it would mean that he had to physically drive into my community and drive around
There it
my
is.
place
There it
of
is.
living.
Mhm.
That is the only way. That vehicle that he mentions, I believe it's a Scion Xbox or XB. It's a squared type of vehicle. That
I used to
vehicle
like
was
those, by
parked
the way.
behind my trailer, and that vehicle did spend the night. And
Just the vehicle, though, not the driver.
So have you ever had anybody come over and stay the night and say, "Hey, if you don't mind, you park out back there." So
Can I hide my car? Try to hide. I mean, it look, they were trying to hide it. They didn't want it to be seen.
But they
new
weren't
romance.
together though, right? So it didn't matter.
They were already broke
necessarily.
up. Wasn't like they were dating. They had already told each other. She'd already asked him to stay away, and I believe all this other third party messaging had gone on. So, he drives the Xbox.
But she wouldn't have known about the other messaging though, would she?
Well, he's telling her. I'm guessing. I don't know what point she found out about it.
Yeah, interesting case this one.
And that vehicle does not belong to Byron. So the only way he
Also,
would
it's somebody else then.
Yeah, we're juggling Packers, Creed.
Whew, man.
know that type of information is if he drove to my house and saw that. I don't live in close proximity to Mr. Stock. He lives in Shelton, and I live out here in Lacey. That's like about a 30 to 40-minute drive. And that date that
that's out of your way.
he sent those text messages,
Way out of the way.
those are not related to the dates that he received the random text messages stating, "Oh, come over." I submitted my timesheet as well for work. And those dates I was working, and I don't have a job where I'm allowed to use my cell phone. It's a driving job, and part of my job is to make sure that I drive under safe conditions.
Okay, so she works.
So those dates that he's stating that I said to go ahead and come over are inaccurate. I was working those days. I don't even have the ability to text people throughout my work days.
Okay, and Mr. Stock, I'll give you the final word here.
So that car is on Byron's Facebook. She's saying that she cannot text
He says you're a liar.
when she's at work.
He's doubling down on old Byron being over there, giving her the
lying. It was Byron, you son of a bitch.
And in fact, at her last driving job, she would text me and video chat with me while at work. So
breaking the law.
Can you believe it? I don't know. Did you see her face when he just said that though?
Did you see the way he said her last driving job? Like, like you're not a real driver. I'm a real driver.
when she's at work. And in fact, at her last driving job, she would text me and video chat with me while at work. So I have.
I think that's the first time that I don't believe her for a moment. That's just a little bit. It's all right. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying.
People break the rules to get with significant others and tell them things all the time.
Sure.
Have those text messages as well if you want those, to where she's at work saying that she's at work, and
that's not got nothing to do with this.
I do want to point out
he's definitely coming off a little bit too jealous, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there is a
unless he's trying to build like her credibility, like, she just told you she wouldn't do that. I can show you so she's a liar, Your Honor. That's what he's trying to build towards, but I just don't see. He's coming off looking pretty bad.
He is, Jim. You're absolutely right. But I think that he's. I think he was pretty heartbroken. I think he liked her a lot more than she liked him because she was ready for Byron.
But I do believe that she would text him from her job. Of course, I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
because this was big for me. I mean, it kind of hurt. So on September or October 30th, I wrote her an email about, getting closure and being on and going for dinner.
What?
Come
time.
on. I mean, that's last ditch effort. That is right. That's Craig trying one last chance.
That's code for I'm gonna beg you to take me back.
100%.
Beg
See that face she's making? She knows it. She ain't
baby,
dead,
come on. Come on, baby. Take me back, baby. Please, baby.
Craig was really in love with her. And
that girl is the best he's ever had in an RV.
I think there might be a little something off with both of them. Now, Craig, again, he's really kind of on the other side of the almost stalking, pretty close. But
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about young lady here, but I feel like maybe she's a love them and leave them type, whereas Craig is
fine.
I fall in love, baby. I mean, all it takes is holding hands, and he's like, "I love you. I love you so much."
That's so funny. Yeah, you just know 100%. He just wanted to sit there and beg through the whole. You don't go. That's not how you get closure, dude. It's not
closure. Let's not see each other anymore. Let's just try and forget about each other. But he's gonna be there just begging her, like, "Baby,
I get with that
baby."
That playing in the background, or maybe even that as she walks into the restaurant.
He's got Motley Crue without you playing in the background.
Day, I show up there while she's leaving, and I go up to her car and ask if she's gonna come inside so we can talk. And she laughs in my face and takes off. And drives away.
I mean,
she could have slapped you. I mean,
it's true.
She's laughing in your face. She did you a favor, but again,
so she knew that
she's a love them and leave them type creed. Where Craig is
not anything wrong with that. Some people don't love this long.
You can't love for long sometimes. Made a mistake.
Yeah, it's what it is.
She knew the time that I was going to be there. She knew the day, and I thought it was, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
yeah, it's just you. Don't worry.
I wouldn't think that you would show up to a place where you didn't want to be seen or talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awkward silence there. Ooh, cringe.
All right. So, in reviewing the file, many of which were referenced in the testimony, combined with the testimony of the parties, here's where I'm at with this. And so, Mr. Stock, again, based on your testimony, it doesn't even sound like you're sure that she was the one texting you those texts that he said, it seems like it, you thought it was, but I can't make any sort of finding that she's the one that was doing that. And looking at her testimony and exhibits, I mean, there's a clear pattern of, look, I leave me alone, and I don't want to talk to you, and yet the contact continued. With reference to the car, she's telling me that, well, he wouldn't have known that car unless he was here. And I said, well, no, I actually went on Facebook and found that car. Even by your own version of that, that's problematic. If you're on Facebook, frankly, the way I see it, if you're on Facebook trying to track down and find someone that she may or may not be dating, that kind of tells me something. And so, and also I find that, those texts sent to a coworker, which that's problematic as well. That tells me that you been kind of an unhealthy breakup, at least from your end, and maybe from Ms. Valles.
Yeah.
End as well. But based on all of that, combined with, again, what's in the file, combined with the testimony, I'm going to grant an order. I'm going to enter an order. It's going to be in place for 1 year. You're just not to have any contact with her. You're not to, no texting, no calling, no emailing, no communication through Facebook or any other social media site, which I'm not aware of. She's just not a part of your life. And that, you know, you live, and as she indicated, she lives apparently here in Thurston County. You live out in Shelton. That shouldn't be a problem for you.
Stay in your
but,
county.
Yes,
that's
stay
what I'm
out of
gonna
this
do here
county.
today. And so, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna complete the order. And again, it's just to turn.
There it is.
Hang on just a second.
Oh,
There it is. I'm no surprise there. I wish.
no, I'm not surprised at all.
I wish that we could have dove a little deeper into this because there's a lot to this story. I commend both of them. They kept their mouths shut, waited. They took their turns. They were respectful about it. But they keep throwing out these nice little nuggets, and we never did get down. I wish that this was a 2-hour case, to be honest with you. I want to know more. But
It's one of those cases right now, Creed, that either he's like a level 4 stalker, or he's been making these emails up and sending them to himself to justify what he's doing, and he's a level 10 stalker.
Oh boy, that could be
there's such a swing right there just based on those text messages alone.
Where we were saying about there's a third-party puppeteer somewhere, and it seems like that he could have been. And you're right, if he was doing that, level 10. You're absolutely right.
And she has no interest in him whatsoever.
No.
She's more than done with him.
Yeah,
she was to start with, and he just couldn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's coming in here and trying to.
You got a big neck tat. I just noticed. I didn't.
Oh, nice. I know she has the little
ring
piercing right there, little ring.
Good for
Very
her.
dainty. Good for her.
Jim's thinking of level 10.
Yeah, he's definitely right there on the edge. And
no harm, no contact.
Byron's next.
And don't come within 1,000 feet of.
Screw's got a string of do not
Ms. Vyas,
contact.
her residence or her place of employment. And
What
as I
about
said before, again, the default
coworkers?
Time period on these orders is a year. And I'm going to go with that for right now. So this, and again, if that can be petitioned to be extended, but it needs to be done before the expiration of the year. But as of right now, this order will expire on January 30th of 2024.
Well,
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's it. You're free to leave the Zoom call. You can get a copy of this order.
She did say that that on the last one that he did what he was told and stayed away.
And it's one of those situations without us knowing 100% about this third party possibly intervening and doing all this other stuff. It's that big swing between the 4 to the 10. And if he's making up these messages and doing that kind of stuff, what a psycho. I mean, really, he's like completely nuts and in love.
There's no doubt about that. Let's you want to cut it there? You want to do
yeah, we'll go ahead and cut it there. I mean, we're
all right.
The video that you sent me is like an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, no,
long.
it's only the good thing is she was saying was the first girl that pops up is pretty.
Well, good. We'll start tomorrow's show with her then. Let her kick it off.
I like that idea. Court is adjourned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you at 4:05 East for Mini Chase Monday.
We got a lot of good stuff in there, Creed, as well as a stolen police car in Atlanta that's taken on a chase and hit by something that everybody loves in our chat. So make sure you're there for that compelling story. Maybe Craig will show up. Who knows? Maybe he's the next Pike. Maybe he'll be here in chat tomorrow and talking to us while he's at work on his truck.
It's true love. It's true love.
Maybe we'll get over this. I can see it already. It's coming.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like on your way out. You know, if you forgot on your way in, appreciate that. That's about it. Huh?
I'm not pointing at my junk. I'm pointing
at Amber, Matt, Mama tried. I thought you were showing me the that really nice poop emoji when you started that. And then it was the watermelon poop watermelon. Amber, Matt, Mama tried. Who's handsome? Who's handsome? The gifter. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you a ton. And don't forget, members only for we got a case channel tonight at 5:30.
And it's a doozy. Get your earmuffs on because there's gonna be a lot of F words thrown out there and whatnot. So it's gonna be a wild time. If you've been thinking about becoming a member, today's the day to do it. For as little as $3 a month, you can become a member over here and do. Creed. do the do. Until next time, stay in touch with yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Bye.